Welcome to Crescent City with your hosts Natalie Jean and Jackie Zabrowski.
Man, there really is like a thing that happens when you have a corset on that does cause a heaving breast.
Yeah, man, you got a heaving bosom over there. And man, I hope you guys are watching this YouTube because, man, it is a heaving and I am bereaving it. It's like they're already gone.
You're bereaving my breast?
Yeah, bring them back. Oh, don't worry. They're still heaving.
Okay, thank you.
I wasn't looking.
If I'm not heaving, I'm not breathing. And
Yeah, you damn right. You damn right. It's no good. I think you look great. And I did sing.
I forgot my crown.
You did forget your crown. And I'm sorry. I'm not letting you borrow mine.
No, you look great.
I need to be a queen at all times. And I need everyone to know that I am a queen at all times, even though I don't think that is exactly the vibe of Queen Hypaxia.
Well, we learned
But she would be into slime, though. I bet she'd be into slime.
You think she would be into stress slime?
Yeah, I think that she needs it. I think that she also suffers from my same neurological problems. And I think that she'd also would be like, slime, good idea, bitch. And I'd be like, yes, bitch. And then we'd start to kiss.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely sure she's going through like some emotional issues. It seems at least she was unschooled in the forest by her people. So that's going to always be a problem.
Yeah, I know you can't really see because of my talk about you've got a heaving bosom, but I've got a heaving curl wig on right now that I feel like is taking over my brain in some sort.
I like it.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like I'm nestled with like in the breasts of my hair right now. It's like, where's Jackie?
Face?
Where is she? Where is she? She's underneath the curls.
Your face is heaving?
Yeah.
Wow, that's too hot for TV.
Uh-oh, you better watch out, man. Uh-oh, she's heaving. I guess we heaving, and you're welcome. We heaving, and I hope you heaving fun.
Oh my God, get out of here. Get out.
I will leave. I will go. I won't. I'm going to stay because it's the beginning of the episode.
You're right. I did have a crown. I'm making a little bit artistic license with my costume.
I think you look fabulous, and you're giving Esmeralda, and I know that that's not the character that exists in this book.
No,
but I'm loving that you're giving Esmeralda.
Thank you.
Yeah, Esmeralda was one of the hottest cartoons of all time. And people sleep on Esmeralda. I feel like everybody always, I think everyone understands here that, of course, Jessica Rabbit is the sexiest of them all. But
got to throw Betty Boop in there, too, though.
Oh, yeah. Give that big old head a tug. I do feel like
she's got a heaving head.
She's got a heaving head. And it's not underneath the curls. I feel like Esmeralda's not getting a fair shake.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She's real hot, especially, in comparison. I'm just saying, you're only as hot as the company you keep.
Wow, it's throwing shade.
Yeah, I'm throwing fucking hunchback shade. So I don't know is it too soon, everybody? I say go back to Notre Dame and burn it down again.
Oh, don't. They just fixed
please
it.
Don't. They just fixed it. Please don't do that.
They just fixed it.
Did they fix it?
I think so.
I would, in my brain, I was like, oh, don't they just like leave all the ruins? Like, isn't that what Europe does? They're like, oh, it's ruined. It's a ruin now. So people can come visit it.
Oh, that's kind of, but I guess you could go that route. I'm pretty sure they fixed it.
Oh.
But
they had to repaint?
You're right. Ruins do need to be ruined to be ruins.
Thank you for making me feel valid, Natalie. I appreciate you.
It's cool as hell to go walk through ruins. I didn't know what old buildings were, of course, until I went to Europe for the first time. And
there are new buildings, Natalie, and sometimes a building is older than other buildings.
I can't believe that there's buildings older than 200 years old. It's crazy.
It is, honestly, I can't wait to go overseas, get me that, overseas, because the Jack is coming. The Jack is coming.
I actually feel like if you go to Palatine Hill, which is this area of ruins in Rome that you can go walk through, first off, it's fucking awesome. It's rad as hell.
Okay.
I do feel like we need to go in cosplay. Holy shit. I can't believe we have not done that
You know
yet.
what the problem is? We'd have to get over there and then get our swords. Like, I feel like there's so much you can't really fly. Oh, no. You can't fly with anything
We're
anymore.
not going to be able to do swords, but we could do full, like, beat Fae.
Yeah.
Fae drag.
Yeah, but we're not going to be warrior races.
We can't probably because they have machine guns in Italy. Their police just walk around with huge, like...
Yes, but don't you think that they would be so charmed by me and my little sword? And I'd be like, it's so small.
I guess we can roll the dice to see.
That's what I love doing. I love being like, am I gonna get put in jail or not? Because if you look at me, you can tell that's one hard bitch over
I definitely want to go to Italian jail, that's for sure.
Give me some pasta. Do you think that they fini fettuccine?
They do it. Oh man, their food is goddamn good. I bet their jail food is top notch. It's probably not.
It's probably
don't
not.
Quote me on that. I don't think.
We all saw Broke Down Palace, okay, and we all know that jail was not fun.
Does my voice sound crazy congested?
No, you actually, honestly, you just sound husky.
Okay,
you sound like me. Oh, come on down to my side of the vocal spectrum, Natalie.
Okay. I'm going to steal your fire.
Don't.
I'm going to take your fury.
Don't. You're going to Ursula me. Don't. You better not. I'm going to steal your voice. I'm sucking it. I'm sucking it.
Nobody wants my voice.
I do. I want this voice. And it's not shrill. It's beautiful.
It's pretty shrill.
I accept your voice and I love it. We here at Crescent City Deep Dives only support each other.
Okay.
See?
I'll take it.
You jump, I'll jump.
All right. So we last left Bryce at the dock, opposite the Bone Gate. A lot of stuff has gone down. Not been great.
Nah, dude.
She made some very poor choices. Understandably, she decided, I mean, she has a hero complex, but she also did and does care deeply for Hunt, and she doesn't want Hunt to go to this horrible fate.
But she also has a bit of a hero complex.
A little bit.
Thank you for saying that, because I know that you stan Bryce more than I do.
I do love Bryce. I love her.
Yes.
I understand why people don't like her.
But I also understand why you do like her. It's why we're doing this book. I think it's actually interesting. I think it's more interesting that when people have complicated feelings about
the protagonist.
I think there should be. I think that it's what makes an interesting book. Some people are going to love her and some people are going to fucking hate her.
Yeah, it's true. So she has done this thing. She tried to give herself over. Rune stepped in, as a brother should.
I guess.
And stopped her from being tortured for the next century. And she's real mad about it.
She's pissed about it.
But like, as we discussed last time, there was no way they were just going to do a clean trade. They would have also just still gotten Hunt. And then like, there wasn't going to be like a gentleman's deal.
Right.
So Rune did the correct thing to get her out of that.
Yeah.
And so she, leaves. She says, "You're dead to me." And she zips on down to the docks and she starts to talk to Danica, sort of praying or reflecting about how everything's a mess. But in this world, it's not out of the realm of possibility that a dead person might speak back. So
yikes.
I guess you could just give it a shot.
It's been a really long time since I've screamed, "You're dead to me!" towards somebody.
I don't think I've ever said that to anybody.
I think I've pulled it out a couple of times because man, scorched earth when you know a Leo. Oh, loving a Leo. It's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I think actually that's much more noble than in my case, when somebody is dead to me, I just cut them off. But I think I try to make it at least, I try not to do that unless I feel like it's very warranted.
And that, I think, is best. I do feel that I think people would rather perceive that "you're dead to me" as over dramatic and unnecessary. So I feel that, I appreciate you saying that it's noble, because I don't know if it is. But I think really your way is probably the most noble of all. Wait, what's the most noble of all? I guess going to them and communicating properly, I guess.
I remove you from my sphere.
From my sphere of communication forever. But that's also overdramatic because I would throw a smoke bomb.
I hope you heal and find out what troubles you. So
but then it's
goodbye.
I also would rather, honestly, personally, somebody scream "you're dead to me" than somebody say that.
You don't want to be condescended to?
No, that would fly me into a cold rage.
Oh, if somebody said that to me, are you kidding? I would lose my mind.
Lose my mind. I'd flip out.
I'll pray for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you have a good time.
Oh, you're gonna pray for me?
Even though technically it's nice, even though I don't believe in the power
I don't know.
of prayer.
I kind of find it a little bit, especially if you're
someone says it like that. If someone says it like that, I'm going to pray for you.
Especially if you're actually not doing anything objectively wrong, but they think you're like sinning or whatever.
Right.
Fuck out of my face with your prayer. I don't want your prayer.
Fuck out of my face. But I will say, someone just throwing out like, oh, I prayed for you. You know, I'm not going to be like, fuck you, you're an idiot, you're wasting your time.
If it's like, oh, you were sick.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
was praying for you. Of course. I'm not going to be like,
good, fucking great.
Will I send your prayer back at you, bitch? No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
Never, ever pray for us. No, it's nice. If it's done in a positive way, not in a condescending shit way.
So in the midst of her getting to this gate, talking to Danica, she gets attacked by the damn Crystallos who's always showing up at the worst moments. But we don't know why the Crystallos has shown up right now. And we're at the start of chapter 72, and she's already dragged into the water because she was at the dock. She's fighting to keep her head above water so she doesn't drown as the demon is just digging into her. She's doing her best to fight it off.
Damn.
It's ripping into her. Things are not looking good.
Nah, dude.
Thankfully, Declan, Flynn, and Rune are following her and are able to grab her out of the grips of the demon because, again, he's a very good brother.
Yeah, and he knew that she was probably gonna go do something stupid.
It's very nice that he followed her, even though she's very mad about it. And Declan makes the most unfortunate choice in words as he grabs her, saying, I got you, to Bryce, because this is what Hunt spoke to her and revealed his feelings through it.
Well, that's not, I feel bad for Declan. That's not his fault.
Oh, no, of course not. But very unfortunate choice.
Yeah.
As far as for Bryce, just like that sounds sincerely heartbreaking to have happen in that moment. And that is like the most like, you know, tragic love storyline that I like relate personally to. Just like not a lost love or anything, just like that feeling of just like overwhelming when you get reminded of something, just like the heartbreak and the humiliation of like somebody doing something and betraying you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just like, I don't know. I feel that.
I feel like it's unfair for our brains that I feel like our brains do the like iPhone memory thing, you know, when you just like see that. But I feel like our brains do that with a bunch of negative shit all the time of like, but do you remember that? And then it's like snapshot, remembering all those feelings. And it is like, I love being an overly feeling person, but sometimes, man, I really wish I could just shut that shit off because it's like, it's too much. It's overwhelming and I need it all to stop.
I mean, also on that tip, I feel like the phones need to stop doing that too.
The phones need to stop doing that, all right? Sometimes the pictures are in the past for a reason and I don't want to see them again.
I mean, they're just pulling up a lot of stuff you might not want to see. You know?
Or like dogs from years gone by, or like exes, or just an experience that you're like, oh, that happened, and then this horrible thing happened right after that, so I'll always remember that night. Thanks, phone!
Thanks a lot, phone. Just makes you more dependent on the phone. The phone's like, it's okay, just use me.
Give me the goods. No, it's giving us that bump. It's giving us that little serotonin. We got to see the notifications. We got to feel the phone. Right, Slime? Are you with me, Slime? Man, I was just realized how hard I was gripping my
really
thick.
hard. That poor Slime.
That's what Slime is for.
That's what Slime is for. You're right.
That's what Slime is for.
Bryce isn't in the space, obviously, to say thank you. She's kind of spiraling out. The Fae Boys inquire about what just happened, but she's barely registering that she even almost just got ripped into pieces.
Oh my God.
She's on that nihilist tip right now. We learn, I believe this is the first time we learn this, that Declan has healing powers in this scene. I don't think we've learned that so far, but if we have, I'm sorry, everyone. He uses them on her.
You're about to get next bust over here.
Next?
Next.
Next?
Next. You remember the Next Bus with the show Next? I think it was like an MTV or a VH1 show where they would keep people of one gender. Well, it depends. There was also some gay shows too. They would keep people in a bus and then they would bring them out one by one to see if the person outside of the bus wanted to date them. And they would like walk out of the bus, and if they were uggo in any fashion, usually the person would go, next! And they would be forced to walk back inside of the bus and the next person would come out. But my favorite versions of those episodes were the gay ones, because then while everybody was in the bus, everybody would just start fucking.
I just like that you thought I would understand that reference when you just said it to me. Like, I was just gonna be like, oh, sure, yeah, of course, the MTV show, the obscure MTV show from 25 years ago. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Natalie, don't you follow my every leap and bound? Because this is the thing, Natalie. I feel like you and Jeff you have prided yourself on speaking Zabrowski, because sometimes Henry and I both will jump 7 thoughts in one moment, and in that moment I jumped 7 thoughts, and I thought you jumped with me, but it's you shouldn't jump with me. You don't live inside of my brain.
I try. I really do. I try, Jackie. Try to find my way in.
You do a really good job, and it is. I apologize that sometimes I jump without a parachute.
Oh no! I thought you were doing a Titanic reference still. Because you did that earlier. You said a Titanic reference.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Oh God, our brains are rotted as millennials. They're just all TV references.
Yeah, that's what we were raised on. I think about this all the time, you know? We weren't people like, oh, people have nannies now. Parents are taking care of their kids. Let the television do it. We were fine. Literally, you just be put in front of the television and then you don't have to take care of the kids anymore.
I mean, technically, we at least had PBS and stuff. Like, those shows were probably somewhat, like, you know, educational.
There was some Daniel fucking Tiger on there, but I also definitely watched Stephen King's It, probably at the age of 5 or 6. And when a movie like that is televised, you know, gotta have the commercial breaks, I think that it was good for our character overall.
Sure. Let's go on to, let's see. That he
Am I broken?
No.
What was I made for?
No. He uses them on her in this scene to close up the demon wounds. So Declan is a heel daddy. He's getting those demon wounds closed up. So in that moment, she gets out to them that the info about the synth usage can attract Crystallos, because they don't know all of the intel about Crystallos, all the lore right now. So even though she's kind of like spiraling out, she still manages to tell them at least that much. But that's when she's done being friendly with them. She chastises Rune for stopping her from helping Hunt. And I can't help but feel very annoyed at Bryce in the scene. She basically cuts him off, says that, you know, he's dead to her. Shows him that she is deleting his number out of her phone.
It's just like, girl, I know. It's a lot. I know it's a lot.
Girl, but be so for real right now. This is who you're mad at. Like, you channel your anger in the correct spaces. It's whatever. I don't expect her to be all thank you for saving me from myself in this moment, but I don't know. She could take into account that he quite literally saved her twice from literally, utterly life-ruining decisions in one day.
But also, though, in the same breath, I have, surprise, spiraled a time or two before. And there are certain times when you find yourself acting in ways, if you are mentally truly spiraling, that you act in ways that you know you shouldn't. Sometimes it's like you can see yourself on the inside looking out, being like, why am I acting like this? Why am I saying this? Why am I doing this? I can't stop it.
That's true.
And I do wonder, too, if there's a little bit of that, because I feel like this is written in a way that SJM, that bitch knows a fucking spiral.
She must.
She must, right? And I obviously, I don't know too much about her, you know, mental health, but I just feel like between this and the way
crazy.
Nesta was written, I just feel like at least she's aware and understands sometimes how a crazy brain works.
Definitely. I mean, she has openly said that she was going through a mental collapse during writing Silver Flame. And that's like a lot of that book came out of her own experiences with her mental health in that time. So she does at least openly talk about that. So she fucks off from them without another word and heads back to her apartment. She looks around at the fallout from everything that's happened in the apartment. The silence, Hunt's belongings still untouched.
Ugh.
She seems to have presumed that somebody from the Ox would have come to gather his things, for evidence or something, but no one has. She thinks about how even if all of his belongings had been seized, she couldn't stop herself. She had already hid his sunball hat and tucked it away with Jelly Jubilee.
Oh my God.
Which is so sad.
This is why we should never be vulnerable with anyone. Never let them into the things that you love and you like, because you never know when they're going to break you.
Is that the lesson of the book?
That's the lesson. That's what I'm taking from the book. Never love.
The book just ends here.
Never connect. Yeah, all of it. It's like, why did you do all these episodes, all this dressing up just to learn this non-lesson? Yeah.
You'll always be alone with some man's hat.
Never trust, never smile.
So
that's the tagline of this show.
Never trust, never smile. So she, even though she's like trying to fight her own internal thoughts about how mad she is at Hunt, she's admitting she kept his hat this whole time and she was going to, even if they took all of his stuff away. She looks at herself in the mirror as her thoughts swirl and begin to drown her. The next chapter, 73, the gang is all here because it's time for the summit.
Oh my God. It's this part of the book when you're just like, all right, we're really juking from that story into, we've got a whole other. It's like, y'all buckle up. There's a lot more to the end of this book.
Tip of the spear here.
And we hate just the tip.
We don't like the tip. So we're with Hunt's POV at 73, who is being led here, dog-like, by his new owner, Sondriel.
Bitch.
Bummer. Hunt has been at the meeting center for several days in a holding cell. And so he, even though the summit hadn't started yet, the whole team had come to prep, and he's been sitting in the cell at the summit itself, just kind of awaiting to see what was going to happen. And he, in this holding cell, again, notes how different the holding space is from where the summits occur in Pangera. So like the prisons, Pangera is more like castle-y. It seems more medieval sounding.
Ready for torture.
And the way he's describing the building that's happening in Valbara, it's like a Hilton Select kind of. Our researcher
keep going. Very excited.
Jess, our researcher, asks the important questions in our notes, like, do you think that they got a continental breakfast before the meetings?
I love you, Jess. Did they? Because, what do you got to make all these decisions on an empty stomach? I better get some cold eggs, you bastards.
A mini muffin.
At least. Oh my God, what if they have one of the Belgian flippers?
I love a continental breakfast. I'm not going to lie.
I'll do anything for a continental breakfast. And my problem is, especially when we were on tour, I was always the one choosing the hotels, and I would always make sure to have a continental breakfast. And I really feel like we should have been rating the hotels by continental breakfast.
I think that's fair.
Because some were just, so much better than the others. And I know that's like, wow, Jackie, never heard that opinion before. But honestly, how dare some hotels call some of those things continental breakfast, because they're not.
Well, it's fair though, because it doesn't even matter the level of the stars or whatever of the hotel. Some cheaper end hotels still manage to put together a really cool, nice breakfast. And then some of them are just throwing crap, you know? Throwing some boxes of cereal from the grocery store at you.
And that's some of the nicer hotels. I feel like some of the nicer hotels, they treat you like dog scraps.
I agree.
So what are we learning here? Never trust, never smile.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich and only get the most bobo ass of hotels, because maybe you might get a good continental breakfast.
I usually stick with chains in those moments, I gotta say. I know that's not, maybe, there's probably really cool independent lower budget hotels, but
for sure. And if you have the time to do the research, if you've got the money to put, but it's just choosing one. I feel like gone are the days of just stopping at a motel. Jeff used to drive big, like trucks, driving inventory from place to place. And he's like, what do you mean? You just stop at a place? You just go. I was like, you have that opportunity because you're a big man by yourself. We don't have, I can't just Stop dressed like this with these heaving curls? What, am I going to stop at a motel and not be terrified of something going to happen? I've seen enough movies. I've paid for Shudder for a long time.
I feel like Schitt's Creek tried to gaslight us into thinking that they were
motels
safe.
were cool and safe. Which
no, there are so many.
There definitely are.
I'm not shading motels.
You just have to look them up.
You got to look up the ratings.
That's all.
You got to look up the
Oh my
ratings.
God, like the Pretty Cool Hotel Tour. We both follow them on Instagram, and they've been recently putting in a heart-shaped tub, I think, into their own home.
Yeah, their own house.
Uh-oh, parasocial relationships.
They're great. So they're at their own Hilton Select. Hopefully they had a decent breakfast selection before the summit. And we're now with Hunt on the morning of the summit, which sort of seems to operate like the UN is held every 10 years. So the different...
Did you have to look that up, or did you know that?
What?
That the UN meets every 10 years?
No, the summit meets every 10 years.
Oh, okay. I was like, does the UN really only meet every 10 years?
No, I don't.
I feel like they should probably be meeting more than that.
No, just the summit. I think if you're Faye and you're living that long...
That's how little I know about anything. I was like, oh, they should really change that.
Oh, I'll send them an email, Jackie. I'll send them and let them know your thoughts. No, the sum. I think because if you're a Fae and you live hundreds of years, like 10 years is like
is nothing. Yeah, it's nothing.
He's been sent down a set of black armor to his cell to put on, not to be on duty, but to be paraded around by Sandriel, like to kind of go like, here's my little
This is
trophy.
my toy. Yes,
she's such a little cunt rag.
I know she is, but she's so beautiful.
She is. He's led in Gorzian cuffs up to the summit floor by guards to stand next to old Sandy. We get a view of the meeting through his eyes, and we, of course, have a lot of fashion going on as well.
Yes, badge, yes.
Many new faces.
Yes.
All the different veneer and houses have their own idea of formal business attire, which I love to see. You know, when you're getting into a meeting room, everybody's kind of just dressed in like very morose, kind of like dumpy jackets, business clothes. It's like, let's get some excitement in here.
Yeah, let's get some apple teenies up in this. Yes.
Yeah, I want to see your personality.
Have a happy hour.
So each of the leaders of their respective veneer species are present. Hunt himself is led to and observes Sandriel's Triari, who are, of course, a bunch of rat bastards.
You damn right.
We've already met Pollux, a.k.a. the Hammer, but here we have a few more.
Her other Triari were nearly as bad as the Hammer. Hunt would never forget any of them. The thin, pale-skinned, dark-haired female, known as the Harpy, the stone-faced, black-winged male called the Hellhound, and the haughty, cold-eyed angel named the Hawk. But they ignored him, which, he'd learned, was better than their attention.
So, bunch of the soldiers who sound a little bit like wrestlers or something.
Oh, God. See, that's how the Triari needs to be dressed at this summit. You go in, you present yourself, you fucking throw it down, you go against everybody else, and you show up being like, I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest.
Oh, so do it like a wrestling match?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they are sort of doing that to an extent. They just
quiet.
They all like have their guards dressed in these crazy regalias to show strength, I guess.
And fashion. I think that they were also really just about like, it's like, I think I want to look good today.
I do like that they all want style.
Yes.
So there's one other core member of her Triari, the Hind. I always was calling her the Hind in my mind. I have to keep calling her the Hind outside words.
The mind. Outside the mind. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind.
So we have the Hind mind. The Hind. That's all I'm going to get in there.
Now it's going to stop. Now I don't know what you're saying anymore, and I don't know what that means.
There's that in House Bunny. Remember how she learned people's names?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. You're just like the House Bunny.
Just like the House Bunny. So we'll have to see about who the Hind is. I guess we don't know too much about her yet.
No.
I don't know. Maybe we will learn about her.
Something tells me that we're not going to like her.
Something tells me that I bet she's going to be sexy.
Oh, well, that's the problem with this Triari. All these bad people being so sexy, it's not fair.
It isn't fair. Fae shifters, all matter of veneer are present, except, of course, humans.
Boo, us humans, boo!
I get it. They don't get a seat at this table. This sends him into thoughts of Bryce and what he learned in the lobby of the comitium and the other day whenever she showed her hand, basically. He fairly assesses that she's also a bit of a fibber because she admitted that she is the princess of the Fae community and she didn't tell him that. And that's fair. I do think his lie is worse, personally.
Yeah.
But I know some would actually probably disagree with that she was hiding this huge thing from him.
But you also don't show every single thing when you first start getting to know somebody. Like, I feel like that's something you kind of got to, like, lead up to make sure that, like, he's okay with that. Like, you got to suss somebody out before. And it's like, she doesn't even tell, like, her friends and stuff that. It's not like everybody knew except for Hunt.
I know. I agree. I'm
saying if I was dating that person, I'd probably be pretty hurt.
Yeah.
Like if we were already intimate and I'm like, oh, I thought we had built something more than this. So.
And I think it's fair for him to be like, well, she's hiding stuff from me too.
Yeah. But I also think, I think you looking for something. You know what you did was worse.
Oh, yeah. You know what you did was wrong, Hunt. Okay. After spotting Jessica, he notes that the witches have arrived and that Queen Hypaxia is among them.
I have arrived.
Sporting a crown of red cloudberries.
Yeah, maybe they're not cloudberries today. Maybe if you look closer, they're the bulls of the deer that I've destroyed.
Oh.
I guess it just depends on what Hypaxia does in her spare time, you know?
I have no idea.
I feel like I'd have, oh God, if we wore crowns, I would have crowns for every different occasion.
I mean, you just wear them.
I don't think I can. Natalie, I feel like we've all met a person in their late 30s that wants to wear a crown all the time.
Who cares? Have you seen what's going on about the world right now? Wear a fucking crown. Who gives a shit?
You're right, Natalie. What does it fucking matter?
It's over. Disintegrating right now.
What does it matter? Put a fucking crown on. Does it make you smile?
The worst human beings are making all of the choices.
Put a fucking crown on it.
Down. Who gives a fuck?
This is why you guys got to come out to these balls that we're going to, the sophisticated balls. You got to come out to these because it's like, why the fuck not?
Use our code FABAYS if you want to go to Readers and Dreamers. You can get a discount.
Please come hang with us. It's going to be insane. And then you get to go and remember that there are good people in this country.
There are good people. She is.
But I'm sorry, I'm covered in cloudberries right now. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to talking about how beautiful I am.
Let's please.
Thank you.
Covered in cloudberries.
Yeah.
So Queen Hypaxia is far from Hunt when he first notices the queen arriving, but clocks how weary she looks even after such a short time as queen. Allegedly, the late queen, Hecuba, had raised her away from society in the forest. Again, a little bit of an unschooling moment. I don't know how I feel about it.
Hunt got a look at her face as she neared. He knew her. The med witch from the clinic. She acknowledged Hunt with a swift sidelong glance as she passed. Had Rune known? Who he'd met with? Who had fed research about the synth?
Oh,
it was me, Queen of the Witches, but I'm also a med witches.
Unnamed med witch was a queen all along.
Dude, yes, bitch. This man just like out the gate immediately like, am I in love with this character? I think,
Hypaxia?
Cha.
Oh, yeah. She's fucking baddie. She's a baddie.
Cha. I honestly forget that when we made that list of most fuckable SJM characters for the last podcast newsletter that one time, I'm sad that I didn't include Hypaxia on that list. Because for me, she really is up there on the wanna fuck list.
That's fair.
Like a low-key character that's, not as maybe flashy as the other ones, but she does the fucking work.
I mean, the list is even going to become more difficult because now we have the Throne of Glass characters to add in. I don't know how we're going to do it.
I don't know how. We do need to do that at some point.
We do.
I guess, we should go on Tears of a Clown and force Jake
they'll just
and
be like, "What's
Holden
happening?"
to listen to us talk about all the
I don't know how to make commentary on this.
You won't understand. That or we'll just take over Tears. We'll do one of those.
We should take over Tears one day.
Yes, and then we do it. That's God. Well, now I'm just coming up with ideas live on microphone.
All right. So then we see Therian arrive with the daughter of the River Queen.
Daughter of the River Queen.
Jackie
Makes
didn't know who I was.
sense. I didn't know.
Therian,
I knew you were somebody at the summit.
Wow.
And I did say, I knew you were a mermaid when you walked in. And that is what I said when Natalie asked if I knew who she was. I know she's a mermaid.
I'm not actually a mermaid because the daughter
because you're heaving bosom.
The daughter of the River Queen is not actually a mermaid.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if we've learned that in the text yet, but she's not corporeal totally, I believe.
Oh.
She's not mer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in your brain, she's covered in a scale.
Yeah,
she's got to have some kind of anti-water repellent, right?
I feel like she just has sea or river things on her, different.
I like this vision.
Thank you.
You did a really good job.
Thank you. So
I like even with the head wrap too. Everybody, you got to be checking out these YouTubes.
Yeah, there was a crown that looked really good on top of it, but I forgot it. So I guess I ruined the costume.
Sorry.
Today.
And I didn't even think for a second that I would ever give you mine. So sorry.
Well, hers wouldn't work. That wouldn't work underwater.
It wouldn't work underwater. It would get all wet-logged. And I'd be like, look at your dumb wet crown.
I had the perfect crown. I'm so mad I didn't have it.
I guess you're going to have to. I guess we're going to have to dress up again, Natalie.
I guess so. This one is a lot. This corset is extremely tight.
But you look great. And your posture is impeccable.
Yeah, that helps. Corsets do that.
I'm slouchy over here in my relaxation.
You look cute, though.
Thank you.
So Hunt sees Therian and the daughter of the River Queen. The River Queen herself is not present. So I guess the daughter is representing her at the summit.
Thank you
for
your representation.
You're welcome. Therian gives him a sad smile. But Hunt is not interested in, connecting with Therian. He's still mad at him for bringing Bryce out to the barge that night, but also not his problem, Hunt. You're the one in the wrong.
Yeah, you are completely wrong. Just can't believe you brought my girl around to see me making all the crime.
Yeah, it's like the idea of getting mad that somebody brought your girlfriend to where you were cheating on her.
Exactly.
I can't believe you did that. Oh, not you? You're not the problem? Okay.
But also, Therian didn't know that you were into crime, Hunt. So maybe you shouldn't be so much of a criminal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a smooth criminal, obviously. Oh, God. I shouldn't have engaged that. Sabine.
I only did the littlest bit.
Sabine and the Prime arrive. Then the Autumn King. He realizes he should have known much sooner that the Autumn King was Bryce's dad because the resemblance is really hard to miss once you know. He sees Rune, who also gives him a sad look.
Ugh.
Then the angels drop in. I know they suck, but it sounds pretty badass. All of the Asterian Guard.
Asterian Guard.
So there's 49 angels in the guard, and they drop down from the sky, which
That's really cool.
It's pretty fun. So they drop down, and they have the stereotypical angel look. They're white and gold regalia with spears and white wings. Then they form sort of like a conga line or a Soul Train line.
I love that you said a Soul Train line. What if all of them just fluffing out the wing, just giving it, trying to be badass, but then also they got to do their angel shake, gotta give me a shimmy, gotta angel shake, gotta give me a shimmy.
That's how they're set up for Micah and Sandriel to come down the line. So I hope that they are doing a little
Can we
shuffle.
start doing that as a Zabrowski family every time we show up somewhere? Just the four of us create a Soul Train line, and then we start dancing into places we go to.
I think we should instigate it at LPN Studios and have all the employees every day
at work
give us a line on either side of the hallway where they clap.
They clap for us, to bring us into work every day.
Yeah,
I bet everybody will be on board.
I'm gonna make a comment card.
Oh God, the last thing we need in this place is a comment box. I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
Don't tell me. So Hunt watches this all take place as Micah and Sandriel appear because they're, aside from the Asteri, the two archangels are the ones who call all the shots for all of these communities. They have the most power. They are the most feared and the cruelest generally. And so he's kind of just watching everybody just have to like sort of bow down to them as they arrive. He watches them walk down this Soul Train line and he wonders why they have not been ordered to mate, as that's a norm for the archangels. So the Asteri will basically require two archangels to breed, which is how they make new archangels. And he wonders if it's because Sandriel murdered her parents that they're like, oh, this might not be a good DNA match. She likes to
Maybe
kill.
she's too mean to have babies, guys.
Yeah, or at least too uncontrollable.
You're right.
Now the archangels have arrived. They enter the main room. So this was all in like the lobby entrance. And as Micah and Sandriel appear, they guide everybody into the main meeting room.
It was cavernous, with rings of tables flowing down to a central floor and round table where the leaders would sit. The pit of hell. That's what it was. It was a wonder none of its princes stood there. The prime of wolves, the Autumn King, the two governors, the River Queen's fair daughter, Queen Hypexia, and Jessica all took seats at that central table. Their seconds, Sabine, Rune, Therian, an older-looking witch, all claimed spots in the ring of tables around them. No one else from the House of Flame and Shadow had come with Jessica, not even a vampire. Not even a vampire.
He notes that the rings of seats total 7. So it's 7 layers of rings. And the irony of it matching the 7 levels of hell. Is that intentional? I'm curious. He sees Furious present as well, seated in the third ring of seats. Hunt himself was led to a back wall and was guarded by 2 random Asterians. That's what I was trying to say, the Asterians. Basically, he's just left in the back to be sort of just hovering around. He's not there for anything other than to just be humiliated. He's glad to be out of the spotlight as the video screens in the room turn on. It means it's time for the Asteri to arrive.
He knew those crystal halls, torches of first light dancing on the carved quartz pillars, rising toward the arched ceiling stories above. Knew the 7 crystal thrones arranged in a curve on the golden dais, the one empty throne at its far end.
It's why I really feel like these books need to have animated shows.
You're so correct. You're so correct.
We just learned that Hulu has dropped the ACOTAR show. I think that's for the best.
I think it's for the best.
And I know that SJM holds the rights to the show running, like rights to the scripts and everything.
Right.
I don't know what will happen, but it would take such a massive budget to not make this look like ass.
To do it properly. And it's just, I know that I always and forever bring up the His Dark Materials trilogy because I know that some people say that the show was kind of, but it wasn't. We all know it wasn't. If you love His Dark Materials, they just haven't done it properly.
No.
Or can they? Unless it's an animated show. And I think you're so right that it's like, this summit is like, SJM has painted such a cool picture of what this could be. And you're going to fuck it all up with CGI?
I mean, and don't even get me started on the Dark Tower movie. Are you kidding me with that?
Yikes,
Although Mike Flanagan, he's heading the front. They're doing Dark Tower, the show.
Whoa.
And Flanagan is show running, directing and all that. I look
You're a
forward
huge fan again.
I'm a fan again, a stan again, all of it. I think he can do it if anybody can do it.
I love that. That's great.
I hope so.
And also, we're saying that it's good that it stopped at Hulu because it was just dead in the water. It wasn't doing anything. So it needed to be released so that somebody could take it and maybe make it somewhere else.
Again, not Crescent City. Nobody has talked about that one yet. That's ACOTAR. But I do think I want to see these rooms and these characters really badly, and I hope somebody does an animated version of it somewhere, someday, somehow.
Come on, Biggie, give us the conch.
Who? Piggy?
Lord of the Flies.
Oh, you're doing Lord of the
I was
Flies.
just
My bad.
doing a Lord of the Flies, and I don't know why. It didn't make any sense. It's because I want it, and I don't care how I want it now, okay?
Aw,
We're not going to get it.
little
At
Veruca
least not
salt
now.
there.
Just a little sprinkling of salt.
So, at the appearance of these otherworldly beings, the Asteri, every creature in the room stands and kneels before them. You can't be fucking abounced when the Asteri are present.
No, I feel like this is even more epic than the beginning of Lion King. When I find a place.
But I feel like at the beginning of The Lion King, it's like a positive feeling.
Yeah, this is a negative. Yeah, this is one. It's like, I feel like this is the opposite of that feeling.
Yes, they live in terror every second.
But they are playing the Circle of Life.
Yeah, they're just like, isn't this fun, everyone?
Although I guess the Circle of Life, like that song would really mean something different if you live forever.
Yeah, for sure. And they also don't believe in natural order. And we learn that more and more through these stories. But even the angels, the archangels, they have to bow down to the Asteri. They are just buzzing of flies to them. Hunt thinks about how horrible and wrong the Asteri feel. We learn through Hunt's thoughts that whatever they are, because they don't really know utterly what the Asteri are, they are each individually capable of turning the whole planet to dust. That's a lot of pressure if you're just a member of the society living on the planet.
Yeah.
And also very intimidating, not even being aware of what kind of creature they are or how they're so powerful. Suddenly, Hunt gets a spooky surprise.
Oh. I hate a spooky surprise. I guess it depends on what the spooky surprise is.
You love going to haunted houses.
I do love haunted houses.
Rune's voice appears in his mind.
That would be a very spooky surprise. If your voice ever showed up in my head, I'm going to be pissed, Natalie, if you haven't told me yet that you can get into my mind.
Well, yeah. And in this moment, Hunt has to not react because he's in danger.
He's in front of everybody. Oh, yeah.
So he manages to not outwardly react, and good on him, because I feel like I would go like,
oh, there's a voice in my head. There's a voice in my head. Someone tell that. There's a voice in my head.
Which might give a couple people some looks.
Yeah.
And
but again, we all know I'd be really bad as a slave.
They love putting women in mental institutions, so I'd be aware of saying that outwardly.
Although, give me that lobotomy.
You're right.
Masturbate me.
At least a little
put
bit,
me away in a padded
give
room.
me at least half a lobotomy.
I'm fine with it. Just a little push
tap
in there.
Just a little tiny.
I've been thinking
tap.
about it a lot with all the Severance I've been watching, and I'm like, if I could just half a lobotomy.
Yeah. So while Hunt is surprised by this, the concept of mind speaking isn't totally new to him. Apparently, it's not unheard of on Midgard itself. They have a brief mental conversation while everyone is focused on the Asteri's arrival. Hunt is surprised that Rune would reveal this precious secret to him. Rune tells him that if he's to help him, no one can know they're speaking, and he doesn't know another way to do this. I mean, it's a handy-dandy skill to have.
It is very handy. But I also would tell very few people that I can do it.
Gotta
I
hide it,
that.
keep it up the sleeve.
Yeah.
Hunt seems surprised that Rune wants to help him in the first place. Because Hunt, I think at this point, feels like everybody has abandoned him because he fucked up,
Yeah.
But Rune tells him straight away that he knew that Hunt was trying to prevent Bryce from trading herself for him in that moment, that he was doing everything he could to prevent Bryce from doing that. And so he kind of I appreciate that you did that. And also, I imagine Rune having an outsider's observation of Bryce and Hunt, knows, even if she's denying it, that she deeply loves Hunt.
Right.
And so he wants to,
help him in any way
and
he
Hunt
can.
is head over heels for her too, and wants to protect her. Even if Rune is technically disowned by her, she's, he still loves her. He cares for her. That's his baby sister, literally. I mean, he was like 50 when she was born.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Very baby sister.
Yeah. They sort of bond in this interaction. Hunt manages to ask if Bryce is okay, and Rune lets him know that she is. It's really all that Hunt can handle facing about Bryce in that moment, so he changes the subject, asking if Rune knew that the Med Witch was his betrothed. Rune did not.
Oh.
Hypaxia has been using her little magics on everybody.
Yeah, bitch. Uh-oh, gotta straighten my crown. Sorry, bitch, you can't.
I wasn't trying to.
Okay, River Queen's daughter. Okay, where's your crown at?
I forgot it.
You forgot it.
I forgot it. They're interrupted by the Asteri addressing the room.
You have converged to discuss matters pertaining to your region. We grant you our leave.
So they always talk in one voice.
You guys, it's just us. We're not. Don't be scared of us. We're not the all-powerful beings
No, I think
that
you
will
should be
turn your
scared.
world into dust. Or, yeah, maybe we are.
Be scared.
Be scared. You're right.
They talk in one voice, or they talk together as one. I think they all have their own voices speaking at the same time. That's the way I interpreted it, right?
I guess, but also that's got to be, it's like if you're that all-powerful and you got to say what everybody else, like, do they ever, like, are they sitting in a break room or they're like, oh, can we just, like, stop all talking together for a little bit? Can we just each be a little bit individual for a second?
They're always arguing, but they can't in front of
They can't in front of everybody. They got to be unified.
subjects.
Yes. It is a fun trick. And if that is one that we could start working on at parties rather than having a, like, you know, like the end of Romeo and Michelle, like where we don't have a dance set up, but maybe we have just like a speech that we've memorized that we shout in unison.
I would love to do way more things like Romeo and Michelle all the time.
Especially, as long as Alan Cumming is a part of it as well, please.
If only. So the scary Asteri talk to Hypaxia.
Me.
Yeah. They basically have arrived to say, welcome all of you. We formally recognize Queen Hypaxia as a new Valbaran witch queen. Bitch.
Thank you. Thank you, many voiced Asteri.
Yeah. So of the 6 living Asteri, there's only one that's physically described by Hunt, and really in any of the books. And it's the one that's named Rigulus? Rigulus. Okay, I was incorrect. Rigulus, a.k.a. the Bright Hand. And it's him being a skinny teenaged boy's, well, at least in body, which is gross.
It's just like, why did you choose that?
Are you
trapped in that? If you're all powerful, I feel like you've got a choice in the matter.
Maybe it's to appear unassuming, but it just makes me creeped out.
Yeah, it really creeps me out.
I guess maybe that's why.
I get that, or it's like if you're gonna do that, then talk with me with full Asteri voice, but as a 6-month-old. Like if you want to really creep me out, go boss baby with it. You know what I mean?
No.
I want to see that damn boss baby take my world and turn it into dust.
Or like the baby, not to bring up Roger Rabbit again, but the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I mean, that baby I would follow into the dark forever. Yeah, I guess you can't be. I should really go, instead of Jeff and I, which we've talked about, and I know that you guys have talked about this too, and I do feel that some year we do need to go as Jessica Rabbit and Roger Rabbit, and but maybe I go as the baby instead, and Jeff is Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, that's weird.
They were playing patty cakes.
God, it's good. Somebody then has to play, what's his name, the scary one?
Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah, but I don't remember the character's name.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now.
That's a good costume,
That
too.
is a great costume, especially with the eyeballs popping out. Yes,
Man,
with the
scared
shoe.
me as a kid, I was so
Yes.
scared. Anywho, much like our Earth, the leaders, the Asteri...
Judge Doom. I was going to
Judge
drive me crazy.
Doom.
I'm sorry. I was going to drive me crazy.
Judge Doom.
Judge Doom.
Much like on our planet, the authority...
the human one. You're talking about our human one? Boring.
Yeah. The authorities sweep in, acknowledging the various wars waging, and much like our Earth, the richest, most powerful go, oh, I wish there was something we could do.
Oh, let's put on our fancy clothes and like talk about it, I guess.
I hope you can figure it out soon. I don't know why the war's happening. It's not because of me.
Oh.
So then the Asteri basically do that. They show up. They say, hope everything works out for everybody.
Ooh, it looks rough over here, guys.
They make it clear in so many words that it's their intention. They are asking, not telling, but telling the angels to figure out the human rebellion and stamp it out at all costs. They are the baddies. And the Asteri's like, I hope you figure that out soon. Better do it.
Better demolish them all.
So they basically do that. They gesture to Sandriel, who is pretty clearly being the subservient angel that she's supposed to be to them. And she's planning on putting the humans in their place. And they seem to be leaving it in her hands. And she seems very excited to cause a lot of pain, which is like her thing. They bid the room a farewell, implying good luck. And then the screen goes dark.
Everyone in the room, the two governors included, blew out a breath. Someone puked by the sound and reek from the far corner. Sure enough, a leopard shifter bolted through the doors, a hand over his mouth.
Micah gathers himself and calls the summit to order. Chapter 74 is Bryce in the sub-level library of Griffin, thinking about the last few days, having watched the news coverage of the summit commencing moments earlier. She was really only checking for Hunt, really probably just for the knowledge that he's alive still.
And still there, too, before being, I'm sure, sent off.
When she gets the confirmation, she stops paying attention. Watching too much of it will tear her apart. She doesn't believe his rejection of her because if you'll recall in the lobby, he basically says, don't ever come looking for me. We're nothing to each other, as a way to try to convince her to move on. But she's like, I don't buy that shit.
It's like Harry and the Hendersons,
Oh,
Get out of here. You gotta go. Oh, John Lithgow.
Love John Lithgow. Now she seems to have turned the corner on her feelings for Hunt. While she, after everything that happened on the barge, she was saying she wanted to forget about him. She had, fuck him. I don't care about him. She'd kind of given up on that pipe dream of her feelings falling away.
Yeah, but then she just had to sit in silence for a couple of days, and that'll change your mind.
Yeah. And so now, yes, I think after she decided she was going to try to save him, she's turned the corner on that and has taken to now wearing his shirts to bed, sleeping in his room. Girl, we all been that pitiful a time or two in our lives.
Girl.
No shade.
No.
She has also...
Especially when you use the t-shirt as a pillowcase because you just want to smell and sleep on it.
That man was not worth it.
No.
He was not worth it.
They usually aren't.
She also has looked into ways to help him legally, but the only two that are on the books are either buying the slave or offering oneself in their place. 0 out of 2. She's already tried both.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Those are the only legal ways to go about it. She thinks about how 3 days prior, an envelope with the return address of the comitium had arrived to her, and she just about freaked out thinking it might have been from Hunt somehow.
The white opal had fallen to the desk. Isaiah had written a reserved note, as if aware that every piece of mail was read. Naomi found this on the barge. Thought you might want it back. Then he'd added, as if on second thought, he's sorry.
Oh.
But also, it's like, okay, I don't need a game of telephone via note right now that he's fucking sorry, okay?
I think it's sweet of Isaiah, though, because Isaiah is not invested in this relationship.
No, it's nice. It shows a lot more about his character.
Sure. But I thought it was really touching that he brought her back the opal and also relayed the message from Hunt, because that shows he cares about Hunt, too.
You're so right.
So she holds that opal now. She keeps it under her desk at Griffin's, and she's looking at it as Leheba points out that Hunt looks sad, which is in reference to the fact that in that moment, Bryce is kind of having the commencement parade on pause with Hunt's face in the girl. Oof. Oh girl.
Oh God.
Lehiba also mentions that Bryce looks sad, just like Hunt does.
Yeah, girl. Like, yes, I am. You don't need to point it out. You know I'm fucking sad, all right?
But
also Lele doesn't probably know.
Well, Lele
All
also,
of it.
she has, this is like a very sweet bonding moment for Bryce and her.
Yeah.
Because Lehiba's basically saying, we're going to go through this together, right? And kind of they're both trying to process how to move forward.
Right.
Bryce tells her that Lehiba's been a good friend to her and that she's sorry for when she hasn't been as good a one in return.
Thank you, Bryce. That was very necessary.
Yeah, you do need to acknowledge it. Lele tells Bryce it's okay and that she, Syrinx, and Bryce will get through whatever the future holds together.
Bryce held up a finger, letting Lehiba take it in both of her tiny, shimmering hands.
Deal. Oh.
God. I love her. I love the fire's bright.
So we're now going to see Rune's viewpoint of this whole summit debacle at chapter 75. He's unsurprisingly bored out of his gourd and also feels hopeless about the fate of the humans. He's at this summit because he has to be, but he knows it's crap.
Yeah.
And that the Asteri, are just making this this charade look like they actually anyone has any choice in anything.
It's just a performance. It's all theatrics because they've got to do this every 10 years. It's not like, the people at the summit have any control of what's going to be happening to them.
So on top of that, the Asteri has ordered more troops to head every house, which is to say it's to instruct them to retaliate against the humans. We're with him a few days into the summit at this point, and he's recalling the shock he had at seeing the queen's identity that first day.
Yeah, bitch, get a load of me.
Get a load of her. He had actually confronted her and asked what her whole deal was. Like, what are you doing? Like, what? You're the queen? She simply replies snarkily that he hadn't asked her.
Yeah.
Which makes me again think that was some kind of glamour she put over them on purpose.
Because they must have been curious.
But whatever she did made them not question her or
and
think
we
about
brought
it.
up earlier too that we never knew her name. Why, if this person was going out of their way to help them, they're usually the kind of person that would find out more about them, right? Because they also are difficult to trust anybody. So I think you're a hundo, right?
Yeah.
About a glamour or something.
Yeah. So plus she wanted to do sort of a Prince Akeem Jofar and see how it would be to be common for a while.
Even though I'm devastatingly beautiful.
Yeah.
But again, everybody is, so it's a little old hat.
No, it's never. It's never old hat. I want everyone to be hot all the time.
Yes.
Incredulous, he asks if she is aware what has been set between the two of them, aka we're supposed to get married. And she replies that she had an idea, but it's really not on her vision board for this year.
Are you jealous of me right now?
Why?
Because you have a crush on Rune.
Oh.
Because you have a crush on Rune and we're going to get married. Are you thinking about it? Are you upset with me?
Well, I would be, except they're kind of both not trying to do it.
Yeah, they don't really want it, but I'm just saying he probably looks at me and was like, that's my wife, and everybody's gonna know it.
Oh my God. Why?
Uh-oh. Not that we're talking about it right now. This isn't oops, all spoilers.
No. Now on this morning, he looks around and notices Jessica, who has been mostly silent through the entire summit. He wonders about her allegiance to the House of Flame and Shadow, even though she came from the witches. Then Sandriel calls the summit to order, telling the room that Micah had been called away for the first half of the day.
But this happens every 10 years and he's not gonna fucking be here?
Very strange and interesting.
Okay.
Rune can only assume he's been called away by the Asteri because no one else would hold the authority to pull him away.
Cha.
And then you also can't question that. You can't be well, you can't leave Micah.
Right.
The Asteri.
Because who's going to say that? I guess only Sandriel could say that.
But Sandriel's still not powerful enough.
Yeah.
So
she fucking thinks she is.
She tries. She then launches into an argument with the Myr about water usage. So she's wanting to like take their resources, basically. She's representing the greedy elite, wanting all of the and saying like, this is like for the government. We need all of your resources.
We need you to give everything you have to us so that we have it, so that you don't have it.
Except they cover it with pretty platitudes and go like, no, it's God wants it.
The greater good.
Rune finds it interesting that Hypaxia steps in this moment, defending the Mer, who simply do not want to have their ecosystem ripped apart for government needs.
Oh my God, I'm also honorable. I'm as honorable as I am beautiful.
And an environmental queen.
Thank you.
Sandriel scoffs and calls them all essentially soy boys. Rune is further intrigued that Hypaxia that she stands up to Sandriel, who eventually mumbles that they'll come back to it. So basically, Hypaxia stands up to her, which is not a thing most people do, and Sandriel kind of like steps down.
I'm queen of the fucking Valbaran witches. I don't know if you know this about me, bitch.
As only a 26-year-old.
Yeah. I'm young even for living forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm young, so.
Hypaxia gives the slightest nod to Therian, who is clearly grateful for her contribution to defending the Mer. We briefly cut over to Hunt, who is doing his best to savor these extremely boring days of negotiations, even with Pollux salivating like a hungry dog at him. He knows that this level of boredom will be dreamed of when he is finally returned to Pangera.
Oh, God.
And we're going to need to stop here because at the start of the next chapter, a lot of stuff's going to start happening really fast.
There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen.
And I'm not going to say, if you haven't read the books, I'm not going to say it's all good stuff that's going to happen.
Buckle up, y'all. We've got a bumpy ride.
That's a terrible, we can't end on that.
Yeah, that's how we're ending. I want to end it like that. We're on a bumpy, but I'll say it again, bumpy ride.
I don't like
I think everybody is now leaving weirdly horny, and you're welcome, everyone.